Hello everyone, welcome back. I thought whilst I had the Ambush Boys here, we should probably talk about our Equinox Volume 4, which we brewed a little while ago. In fact, we brewed V5 last week.
Yeah,
Two weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And before we run out of V4, because we've only got less than half a dozen kegs left, we should probably keep the continuity going and do a video on the Volume 4 as to let you know what was the difference between the Volume 3 into the Volume 4. So we've all got a glass here. Cheers, gentlemen.
cheers.
Super clean. Super clean. It's that yeast, right? It's the Nova yeast.
No, this
No?
one's the Bright 97.
The Bright 97. There you
Yeah.
go. After a flying start here.
But it is, you're right, it's very clean finishing ale yeast. It's, I think I've said it on every other video, it's one of my favourites to use. It's been a favourite of mine for
It's also
15.
our equipment just lends itself to clean beers.
It does.
Yeah.
And that's the we don't have conical bottoms on our main fermenters. We've got basin bottoms. So that gives a lot more surface area to our yeast. So you're going to get higher fermentation just from the surface area alone, and the time will decrease for that fermentation to finalise.
Yeah, it's something that we have to think about when we're doing other styles, but in a style that we want to have super clean.
It works excellently.
It's so strong. Yeah.
It was kind of our thing from the start, right, to make a pale ale that was, well, for lack of a better word, low carb, right?
Yeah,
Because,
that's it, man.
Certainly maintaining that tradition. This one ended at 1003, so it's again only grams of carbohydrates to the litre.
For all you beer geeks out there, we're getting that's close to almost like Euro lager kind of territory where you're any sugar that can be eaten up is converted to alcohol. I think this is my favorite. This is our V4. I think from V1 to V2, I think there was a lot of what's the word for it? Like a juxtaposition as to which one was better. But then between the 3 and the 4, not the 1 and the 2, it was definitely 75, 80% of people, 4 out of 5 people, no, this one is definitely my favorite. So I'm interested to see what happens when we bring V5 out. Hopefully by the time we get to a V6, we don't call it a V6 anymore. It will just be our Equinox Pale Ale. I think we've done enough experimenting. Do you think, or do we?
yeah.
Or do you reckon we do another a V6?
I think we've been learning along the way a lot.
I think we have about what attenuation about surely it can't get any lower than that. But, lo and
I think you'll
behold,
be shocked. I think you'll be shocked.
for the next one.
Yeah.
Watch the next video.
So we had, I think the main difference between 3 and 4 was, 3 and 4 was the citra cut. So we did we cut some of the citra out of the dry hop and then replaced it with the Centennial.
And that's the original hop that we were using for this particular beer. So V1, V2, the majority of it was Centennial. I think V3 we kind of over added a bit of the citra, and that kind of blew the Centennial out a little bit. It wasn't as noticeable, which we wanted to kind of push back on a little bit. So we dropped that citra down a little bit in the dry hop, and there's not really that many differences between this V4 and V3. I think the big one is what did we discuss earlier? Protein rest. So we struck the grain. So basically that's when you're adding your grain into your initial mash water. Your temperature really kind of affects how the grain will react throughout the whole mash process. So in this one, we made sure to do a more of a protein rest, give it a bit more time at those lower temperatures to sort itself out, get those alpha amylases flowing, and that's made a great deal of difference, I think, to the cleanliness of the end product.
I think this is definitely the when it comes to aromatics and malts, this is definitely the cleanest, because you put your nose in that. Well, I put my nose in there.
I can only get mouth or nose at one time.
and it's grapefruit. I get that orange peel kind of grapefruit, um, aromatic on the nose, but also there's a sweetness that comes behind it that is I guess symbiotic to what we like to the
Yep.
Equinox. Like it's
Yep.
just like from V1, it's always been there. It's just been more accentuated with this one. And I'm not
And-
too sure if that's the hops or I think we were talking earlier about the water profile,
Yep, that's
which has a
true.
lot to do. Like your strike water has so abundance to do with how your end product is going to turn out. And so what did we do different? What did you do different, Axel? Because that was your
The water chem in this one was slightly different. We left pretty much all the additions the same besides the magnesium. So that's magnesium sulfate, Epsom salts. For those people at home, if you ever have a bath, you got an aching body, Epsom salts that go into your bath are pretty much exactly what goes into a beer when you're doing the water chem.
then you brew beer.
And so,
Yeah, don't have a bath and then use the bath.
I've got a story.
Don't do
I'll
it.
tell you that at another time. And so this one does have a little bit more minerality to it in regards to those magnesium ions floating about, and it slightly changed the sulfate chloride balance. So the sulfate chloride balance, I think I've discussed this previously, will accentuate either your malts and your bitterness or your hops. And we kind of dialed that in a little bit more with this one, and I think it paid dividends to the end product.
so,
I think this one like really like compared to the V3, when it's on your tongue, like it dries out quickly. Like I'm not sure if that's the water profile. I'm privy on this, but almost like a pilsner, I think, where by the time you have a sip, and by the time you put it back down, it's dried your mouth up long enough that you want another one. It's Moorish. It's Moorish beer. Like this would probably be the most Moorish Equinox we've made. Where if you have one in your hand, you're gonna have a hard time putting it down because it's so easy to drink. That's what That's what I found with this one.
And it's funny you say the sweetness as well, and we've talked about this previously. Is that there's almost no sugar in this. It's really, really low in sugar. I think it would be something like 6 to 8 grams per liter, which is really nothing, especially in a beer.
1002 or 1003?
I think it ended at 1003, which is even low for an ale, certainly low for pale ale.
Very low for a pale.
And that's where you get that low carb from. But the sweetness, I think, is really hop driven. That Centennial sweetness that we're
because you
getting.
smell it as well. It's fruit on the nose. It's admittedly, as I said, like I'm getting grapefruit more than anything. But what are you two picking up on the aromatics? Because everyone's nose is different.
Yeah,
right?
that's very true. And I was getting a little bit of what reminded me of V1 and V2, a little bit of grassiness when it was first poured.
Yeah,
and that's dissipated somewhat after I've had a few mouthfuls, but it's still there. The jasmine's still there.
Yes,
the jasmine's certainly still there, and that's been a kind of central flavor, I guess.
I didn't know how to put that into words. I was like, it smells like nighttime.
It's like rose water.
Yeah,
Is it Earl Grey tea?
water?
Is it Earl Grey tea?
It's not far off rose water now that you say that. And that's that kind of sweetness that comes through. It's not necessarily the sugars. It's that really sweet ester. And it's a really interesting.
It is punching on the nose though.
It is.
It's I mean, it's not like it's not like an IPA that's gonna really hit you with those aromatics straight off, but you bury your nose in there and you know that it's been dry hopped. You know that there's hops being put towards the end, but it also doesn't lend to that kind of profile where, as I said, we are creeping into IPA territory with like that's the pinnacle of the triangle, like that's your centerpiece.
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, I think like to me, I think the centerpiece is the cleanliness of it. Like to me, really, it's like the what the yeast has done is probably more accentuated to my nose than what the malts and the hops have done.
It does.
That's
lean
just
that
my
way.
opinion.
It does lean that way, and from a
and I'm happy for it. That's exactly what I wanted in this beer. We were trying to create a beer that was not your 4 ingredients in beer, I guess. You didn't want to accentuate one more than the other. You just wanted to like showcase what can be done when you use them all appropriately.
I think that's what we've been after, right? Is just meeting the balance, meeting something that most people are going to enjoy when they sit down and have one.
And it's so very Moorish. It is. It's like,
it is.
I want to keep it in my hand.
It's
I
awesome.
actually,
Yeah.
I haven't had one of these for I don't know a good month and a half.
I know. Yeah.
Look, I'm really happy with it. Really happy with this version.
Like I said, I think we've got less than half a dozen kegs left, so I thought we should probably do a video on it before the V5 comes out because we're all looking forward to the V5, right?
V5. And
we won't give too much away right now, but we've hit some numbers.
We've hit numbers. We've hit some real numbers.
I thought the 1003 was a
Yeah,
not giving anything away, but we've hit numbers.
Not only
It's
that,
gonna be a fun video.
but we were so confident with the V5, we did a double batch. So we've got close to 1,900 litres in a fermenter currently that we're waiting to keg and get around here as soon as possible. So
I think that will be in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So towards the end of August, we will definitely have that on. But come on down to all my friends and try the V4 Equinox, the Tamp Ambush collaboration, whilst we still have it on. And if not, you'll get to try the V5. And I'm looking forward to trying that as well. So, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Prost. To all my friends, thank you for joining me once again.